Are you feeling stuck in your career, considering a change, or trying to better understand where you truly fit? Coach Cora is now offering a personalized career insight package designed to help you better understand how you're wired, what captures your interest, and how that connects to your next step. This package includes the MBTI assessment, providing insight into your personality preferences, communication style, decision-making, and work approach. It also includes a career interest inventory to help identify the types of roles, environments, and career paths that may naturally align with your interests. But the real value comes in the one-on-one interpretive coaching session where Coach Cora walks through your results with you and translates them into practical insight you can actually use. The standard price for this full package is $375, but for the People Playbook listeners, we're offering a special introductory rate of $325. This is not about putting you in a box. It's about helping you gain language, clarity, and confidence as you think about your future. Whether you're exploring a career move, preparing for growth, or simply wanting to understand yourself better, this session is designed to help you take your next step with intention. To learn more, go to CoachCora.com and click Book a Call.
The People Playbook is for professional business owners and leaders who understand business rises and falls on people. You will hear practical, real-world conversations on clear leadership, smart hiring, and building strong teams. All formulas for retention. Get ready to hear your professional peers and industry experts as they discuss lessons learned and best practices. Get that journal out. You'll be taking lots of notes.
Today on the People Playbook, we are talking about strength, not just the kind of strength measured by the weight on a bar. We're talking about the kind of strength that is built through discipline, identity, confidence, coaching, community, and the courage to step into spaces where others may not have expected you to belong. My guest, Consuella Roberts, is the founder and executive director of the Pretty Strong movement. She is also a record-breaking powerlifter, former elite track and field athlete, and a sought-after speaker and coach. Connie's athletic career has taken her from the highest level of American sprinting to the powerlifting platform. And using what she has learned in athletics, her work now reaches far beyond competition. Through the Pretty Strong movement, Connie is helping women and girls build confidence and own their power and understand that strength is for everyone. Her work combines fitness, mentorship, and community, and that connect directly to what we talk about here on the People Playbook. Connie and I know each other through her work as a coach in Warrior Games, through a program of resiliency that returns people to their purpose when they have been taken out of the mission by a significant injury or illness. Because whether we are talking about athletics or business, performance does not happen by accident. It requires strategy, knowing what we're building toward. It requires structure, creating the training, the roles, the discipline that support that goal. It requires a system, repeatable habits, feedback, and support that help grow consistency. And it requires the social aspect of success, the culture, the relationships, identity, and belonging that influence whether people feel strong enough to show up fully. Connie's story reminds us that leaders do not simply demand strength from people. Great leaders build it. Consuela, we have a lot to talk about today on the People Playbook.
Yes. I'm excited. Thank you for having me.
Connie, when people see a record-breaking lift, they see the moment. I saw the moment when you did that. But it is important to understand what happened before that. And I want to explore with you what goes on behind the lift and what really does it take to build that kind of strength. You lifted 475 pounds, and that broke you into the 1,000-pound club. So can you share with us what the 1,000-pound club is, and what was the one key thing that got you to that goal?
Well, the 1,000-pound club is an elite club. That's what they call in the powerlifting world, where your squat, bench, and deadlift equate to over 1,000 pounds. And in order to get there, I had to know that I wanted to get there as first and foremost and prepare to do just that.
Yeah. That's interesting you say that. I had to know. I had to know it. I wasn't hoping. It was, I'm going to do that. And now I have to come up with a plan. So
Absolutely. It
Connie,
started with accepting it.
That's huge. That is so big. Connie, you're going to walk us through the strategy it took for you to get there, the structure, including the social aspect of it, and the systems. Because I believe your journey is very similar to what a lot of leaders go through in building high-performing organizations. So it starts with, you are a coach. You coach others to high performance, and you do that very, very well. I always hear people giving kudos to Coach Connie and how much you've helped them and inspired them. But you set a goal, and the first thing you did was you went and got a coach. Is that accurate?
I did. And luckily for me, I didn't have to go far. Once I identified powerlifting was something I wanted to do and I wanted to lift heavy things, I have experience in track. That's what I know. I know weightlifting as far as power is concerned, but I knew I needed someone as an expert in that field to help me out. So that's when I recruited Coach Mike, or Coach Mike kind of recruited me. Probably Colin told me to do it.
But he saw the potential and the capability in you.
He did. He saw it long before I did, and I thank him for that. Right. And when I made that decision, I said, all right, Coach, I need a training plan. I can't go into this blind.
I think that is so important. When a leader sees potential, and if they can influence that person to believe as well, which is what you're saying, he said I could, now I need a plan. And so would you say he set a strategy for you and helped you with the plan?
He did. I made the decision to compete in powerlifting in December and sign up for my first meet in February. And despite that short turnaround, he created my training plan for that, specifically for that meet. Not for 5 years down the line, but for that moment.
Wow. And it's interesting when we set those goals and we set that in place, how important for you was it to recognize that he didn't say, hey, I think you can do it, go do it, and ask you to lift things that you couldn't, but he pushed you towards something. Talk about the difference in that, because I do think a lot of our employees that are within organizations, they recognize for their potential and then ask to deliver on it. And there's some key missing steps. So what happens in that process when you're going through that structure that's been set up for you?
Well, the structure is there to help you to build confidence. I believe a job of a coach is to be your athletes, in this case, confidence until they build it themselves. And that plan helps reveal that. It's like a grand reveal. As you're going through lifts, you don't walk up and lift a world record lift on your first day of training.
Right.
You find your key steps along the way with, I can do this amount this many times, when last week I can only do it twice. Now I can do it 5 times. And we continue to build on that. And as we're building on that, that in turn builds confidence with me. The fact that he thought I could do it in the first place was enough motivation for me to go out and try to execute that to the best of my ability.
I love that. It's the progress. It's the progress. I've experienced progress every day. This is Coach Cora with Connie Roberts, founder of Pretty Strong Movement on 9:30 a.m. The Answer, the People Playbook. And we're discussing specific steps to building people up towards the big lifts in life. So Coach Mike comes and he says, I see potential in you. You say, hey, I need a plan. I'll believe you, but I don't see it yet. He says, here's a strategy. We're going to get you. You start to feel some of that progress. In that, there was some structure that took place. What kind of structure did you have to implement to really make this goal happen?
Well, I had to reach back to my days in running track. I had to wake up that level of routine. I couldn't just go to the gym for fun, and although the classes are nice, but I had a very specific goal, so I had to change things. I make sure that my workout is done before noon. I make sure that I have at least, as soon as I wake up, I drink at least 16 ounces of water, at least. And then I make sure I get my protein in. And then I proceed into my program, my training as usual. But also when I come home or return, I consume more protein immediately. There are things that I do that has to be done to see this goal through. So that structure was crucial because it gave me a checklist. If I do these things when he tells me to do it, when I'm supposed to do it, then his deal was that he can guarantee success.
Yeah.
So I did that.
And I think I see such a correlation in business as well, that we say, here's the vision, here's the plan, but we have to put in place certain things that allow us to create the routines and the consistency to be delivering on it every day. We don't see progress every day, but you'll see pieces of progress and you'll celebrate that, right? So how did that structure move you through when motivation just wasn't enough? Let's move on to the systems that you have in place. Here's my structure. I have to do this. You had to have felt times when you weren't motivated to do it.
You know, as people say, motivation comes and goes, but discipline is what keeps you in the game. There are plenty of days I don't feel like getting up to go to the gym and work out and do the other things, because the part that people miss is that it's not just about lifting the heavy things. It's the diet, it's nutrition. But when I don't have that motivation or even don't want to tap into that discipline, I go to my support system for me.
That's right.
My husband, who supports it, my friends who actually know very little about powerlifting, but they cheer me on anyway. If they look at the clock and they call me and it was like, it's after 12, you didn't go to the gym today? I was like, I don't feel like, you should probably go. I'll let you go. That happened today. Exactly. It's in the parking lot. It's like, well, let me let you go to the gym and do what you do. But having that level of support outside, just knowing you're just not, you're not doing this alone. Although I'm on the bench press alone, I'm not alone. I'm on the deadlift alone, but I'm not alone. My coach, my family, my friends, and my husband are normally sitting there with me, right seat ride.
Do you ever draw strength from that?
A lot of strength.
Yeah.
At my last competition, it was huge. That was the first time my husband ever saw me lift.
Wow.
In a competition setting.
Wow.
So that lifted me up so much, and just seeing the excitement and pride in him on what I was doing meant the world to me.
Oh, absolutely. And I want to repeat what you said, because I thought that was such a great line. You said, motivation comes and goes, but it's discipline that gets us where we're going. Is that what you said?
Yes.
That's huge, because I do think motivation comes and goes. And then drawing strength in from others, and especially, Connie, in a world where women aspire to be independent and strong and self-sufficient, it is so important to recognize that self-sufficiency and strength is recognizing I need to draw strength from others. You used the word earlier, from my tribe, when we were talking about this before. I need to have people around me that believe in me and want me to succeed and are with me, and that I draw strength from that. That's being a strong, independent woman. I know what I need and who I need. Do you have some thoughts? I know you talk a lot about this in the Pretty movement.
It is. It's huge. And we, as women, sometimes we go through the cycle of, I need to be so dependent on someone else, to I need to be hyper independent and I don't need anyone else.
Right.
And true strength comes in the identity of recognizing when you have to ride something out solo.
Yeah.
Or when you need to lean on the strength of you need to lean on the strength of others. It requires, in my opinion, 10 times more strength to ask for help than not to. I correlate that to when I need a spot on the bench. Yeah. I don't want to ask for a spot. I'd rather be perceived as that woman is strong enough that doesn't need a spot. But if I want to get the heavier the weight, the spotter is required. So the same thing can apply to life or in business.
Nice.
The stronger the assignment, the stronger the goal, the bigger the team has to be.
Yeah. And the bigger the support.
Yeah.
And I think that's a tremendous correlation you make. If we're going to go after these big, hairy goals and really have some big lifts, I mean, some of the things we stand up in organizations are big lifts. Who's spotting us? who's there to make sure that we're okay? And if we, those muscles start shaking, I mean, I've seen some, when the muscles start shaking and you're thinking, oh my gosh, somebody has to be there. And sometimes just knowing that they're there, does that give you strength that they're there to spot you?
For me, it adds at least 5 to 10 pounds. I had a young lady, I said, I just need you to stand behind me. She said, I don't know if I can pick this up. I said, you being back here makes me stronger.
I love that.
I promise.
I love that. And as a leader, when I'm asking the team that I lead for this big lift, for them to know I'm there, I've got you, I'm spotting you, would give them that much more confidence. I think that's super important to recognize. Yeah, thank you for that. The other thing that is so important is you said, I have to know when. In the work you do as a coach for the Warrior Games, many of the people that come to you initially are there because they didn't ask for help. And it actually ended up significantly damaging them. And through sports, they find they refined their purpose, if you will. So when we're trying to accomplish these big lifts, these big goals, how do we get in our own way? What's our biggest barrier?
It is what happens between your left and right ear. It's usually you. It's you. I know for me, it's me. When I get in the way and I have this big goal, one of the first things I ask is, who am I to accomplish something so big?
Yeah.
So huge. And I am guilty of making things smaller so it fits my accomplishment, right? Like, oh, that wasn't that big of a deal. That's why I did it. And I continue to do it. But that's not the way to go. You have to begin to accept that piece. I believe that sometimes people, I heard it from, I hope I don't mispronounce her name, Ayanla Van
I love her. Ayanla Van Zandt. Oof.
Yes. I always watched her show all the time and I couldn't say her name.
Yeah. But
I heard her say the other day that as long as you stay mute, you don't have to be responsible for your power. And that resonated with me personally so much because I was like, if I don't own it, I don't have to do anything. If I don't show I can do it, then I don't have to take it anyway. I can leave it right where it is.
And it's interesting you say that in the executive coaching that I do. I have had clients that when we ask, are you interested in pursuing C-suite level roles, VP level roles, or are you comfortable at the director level? What are your goals? And they'll say, I'd love to be at C-suite, but that's just not something I could ever do. And then they'll have lots of reasons why. And when you push them, where's that perception coming that you could never be one? Is that like a choice? I just don't want to be at that level of commitment in my life to work, which is valid. But some of them, I'm just not C-suite material. To your point, it's all between the head. Until you start breaking it down, what does that mean? What if we had a path in place? What if we set some goals? Would it seem possible then? And it is. A lot of times people do limit themselves. And it's incredible how that happens. And that, to your point, and I'd love to hear that from an athlete perspective, how does having that structure and those strategy and the support systems in place, how does that help you overcome what's between your left and right ear?
It proves you wrong in certain ways. Right. When you have that to go to, you can't deny in facts. Recently, a friend of mine told me, when you start going that way, you have to go back and you have to start speaking in facts. Facts. My workout showed I did this, this, and this. That's a fact. And I can hang. I'm no longer hanging my hat on something that might be or maybe. I'm now speaking in fact. In powerlifting, we work in percentages, right? We're working at 80% of our max.
Right.
And if 80% of your max is, for example, for me is 400 pounds, it's 80% of my max. And I'm now at this place that I'm repping 400 pounds 5 or 6 times. Well, now I know my personal best is going to exceed where it was. So I speak in facts. And that's the beauty of having a structure and a plan in place, is that you can always go back to that as a resource.
And I love that. And in the corporate area, when we're asking people to deliver exceptional performance, that's what our key performance indicators and our clear expectations. Here's the step, here's the goal, here's the measurement. You are progressing, you are doing it, you can accomplish more. And I appreciate that. Connie, a record-breaking weightlifter does not break records by accident, for sure. Behind the lift we see on competition day, as we've discussed, there is a strategy, there is a structure, there is a system, and certainly a social environment that makes the performance we see possible. And that's exactly how organizations work. Leaders often admire the big lift, the major win, the growth goal, the promotion, the breakthrough, the business result. But the lift is only the visible outcome. The real work happens in preparation, in discipline, in feedback, with support, and the mindset that makes the breakthrough possible. For leaders, I would challenge them with a question. Are you building an organization where people are strong enough, supported enough, and prepared enough to carry the weight of the goals we have set? For you, Connie, I would ask, what do you wish leaders understood about building strong people, not just expecting strong performance?
The first point I would bring up is something that came behind my philosophy when I developed the Pretty Strong movement, is that you have to step out the way and let your mission and your purpose be the driving force, not your personal issues, not your personal feelings, but what the mission is. For me, my mission is to help women activate confidence. No matter how I feel about what she may have outside of me, my mission is to activate her confidence. So the first thing is definitely step aside and do what's best to fit the desired outcome.
Love that.
The other part is you have to be honest in your destination, whatever your goal is, but you have to be more honest in where you currently are. It's challenging when women come to me and say, hey, I want to lose 100 pounds, for example. My next question is, well, how much do you weigh?
And we have
very
to be honest.
More common than not. Yeah, they don't want to be honest about their weight. Just know I want to lose 100 pounds. Well, if I tell you I want to take you to Disney World, you're okay. I need to know where you're at to get you there.
Yeah.
If you don't tell me where you're at, it's impossible for me to get you to Disney World.
Right.
So just like it's impossible for me to help you lose 100 pounds if I don't know where you currently are. And the same things with leaders and decision makers in business. If you are not honest with your starting point, with your starting destination, even if it's at ground zero, that goal that you want will never take place. You'll just flutter in the wind. So I would say be honest and open and step aside and make sure the mission is what's coming first as your driving force and factors.
That's perfect. Thank you, Connie. So be driven by the purpose. Don't let your personal agenda and feelings get in the way. Let the purpose lead the way. And we have to fall in love with the truth. Connie, thank you so much for joining me today. For our listeners, the takeaway is this. People do not rise to record-breaking performance simply because we ask them to. They rise when we give them clarity, structure, systems, coaching, recovery, and a culture that believes in their capacity. Strength is built way before it is tested. If we want people to carry big goals, we have to build the environment that helps them become stronger. And we cannot put more weight on them than they are capable of carrying. This is Coach Cora on the People Playbook. You can learn more about Consuella Roberts by Googling Pretty Strong Movement.
Thank you for listening to the People Playbook. For more information, Coach Cora can be found on LinkedIn and at CoachCora.com. Let's meet here next Saturday, 2 p.m. on 9:30 a.m. The Answer.
Are you feeling stuck in your career, considering a change, or trying to better understand where you truly fit? Coach Cora is now offering a personalized career insight package designed to help you better understand how you're wired, what captures your interest, and how that connects to your next step. This package includes the MBTI assessment, providing insight into your personality preferences, communication style, decision-making, and work approach. It also includes a career interest inventory to help identify the types of roles, environments, and career paths that may naturally align with your interests. But the real value comes in the one-on-one interpretive coaching session where Coach Cora walks through your results with you and translates them into practical insight you can actually use. The standard price for this full package is $375, but for the People Playbook listeners, we are offering a special introductory rate of $325. This is not about putting you in a box. It's about helping you gain language, clarity, and confidence as you think about your future. Whether you're exploring a career move, preparing for growth, or simply wanting to understand yourself better, this session is designed to help you take your next step with intention. To learn more, go to CoachCora.com and click Book a Call.